Alrighty, we are live. Welcome, Matt. How you doing?
We're good. Happy hump day.
Happy Hump Day. Doo-doo-doo. Today is Wednesday, February 18th. It's like the hump of the month too, like we're right in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah.
Um, we actually got a good day today in the markets. Let's see here. SPX is up 0.7%. RUT is up 0.8%. Oil is up 4.5%.
Mm.
Woo.
Hmm.
Dollar's up 0.5%. The Nasdaq is up 1. The Dow Jones is up 0.4. Gold is up 2. VIX is still at 19, so still elevated, but it's down 5% today. OVX, like oil volatility, as you can imagine, up 22% today.
I think probably with Iran.
Yeah, Mr. Yep, that's the whole thing, the Iran thing. Tech stocks doing well today, so we'll see if that rally continues. We do have NVIDIA earnings coming up next week. So that I think is going to be the next catalyst for the AI trade.
Definitely. A lot of
You
people
know,
watching that one.
yeah, we've had several companies come out, especially the big boys, the Max 7 come out, say, hey, we're going to spend more money, and then the stocks go down. So I'm not sure what NVIDIA is going to say. And it'll be interesting because, or actually not that, but like when OpenAI and Anthropic and those and some other ones, when they go public, um, who knows? I mean, supposedly it's supposed to be this year, but when they do go public, they'll have to report all their numbers, and that will be more telling, I believe. Because right now you have them where they just say, "Oh, hey, we have this many active users." Okay, well, what is an active user? Like, how do you
Right.
define
Yeah.
that, right? I
Yeah.
mean, anybody can go into ChatGPT and use it for free. Is that an active user, even though you're not making any money off of them? Um,
So
so
they're going a little blind, as a
yeah,
measuring stick.
yeah. So I don't think we really know who's doing well and who's not because there's so much money being thrown at these companies that they can keep, printing and they can still keep developing and doing their stuff and without running out of money for a long time. So we'll see what happens. Uh, Mike got our first comment for today. It says, looks like the double dip will win today.
Still
Yep.
early. We'll see. I
It's
hope so.
still early, so we did have our first ever group double dip trade today
Yeah.
after the presentation last week. Mike, I actually did already get out of my trade. I put the trade on and I did get out. Um, I had done five spreads at 35 cents each, so I got like a 175 total, which was what I could have gotten out. And when it got up to 150, I said, you know what? We got the Fed meeting minutes coming up soon. Um, yeah, I got the live show. I got, some other stuff happening in the afternoon. So I figured, let me see if getting out makes sense. And so I put the order in to get out at 5 cents. It took it took maybe 15 minutes for it to fill.
Mhm.
So it didn't happen right away, but yeah, I did get out. And I was looking at the numbers, and if I had not gotten out, and if it expired worthless, I would have made a little bit over 7%. By getting out, I made a little bit over 5%.
For
So
a few hours work.
for a few hours work. I mean, but that's 2%, right? 2%, you're giving back. So in the long run, that could add up to be a lot. But if
I
it
think it's a wise
stays,
move. If you're busy, talking like we're talking and you got other things going on and you
yeah,
see the win, take
yeah.
it.
I mean, in the back test, we did not, right? We let it go
Right.
all the way to the end of the day, and those were the numbers. So I think that if people want to play it that way, they should be. I mean, the back test numbers are there. They should be. If it continues, it's still gonna be fine. Like looking at the thing today, right now the SPX is at 68.86. My strike was at 69.
I think 30, so didn't it?
What was it? 25. No,
25.
30, 30, right. 30. 69.30. And so, I mean, that's, 45 points away. That's a pretty big range. Um, even if the Fed comes out and says something really bullish, I don't think we're going to go up another 1% from here. So, The
I think they
trades,
said around 2 Eastern, like it's already happened, I think.
possibly.
Supposed to come out at 2.
Yeah, it comes out at two. So I haven't seen any reaction in the market. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, the today's trade was worked out perfectly, you know. Uh, and so yeah, I'm excited for the double dip.
It's we got a busy time. We got the Phoenix on, we got
Yeah,
double,
you got
we
a
got
Phoenix.
classic. It's like boom, 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 so
You got
a
the
lot of
Phoenix trade
energy.
on today. The double dip signal came, and then if the signal stays, then you got the classic for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the number right now?
Let's see, here it is.
Check on my phone. Sometimes it's easier just to
It is
check on your phone.
0.68 right now.
Okay, so no signal for right now.
Not right now. Things can change.
Oh
Let's see.
yeah, yeah. So all right, so we'll see how it goes. Um, today I've been spending the last few days. Once I got over the presentation for the double dip, I moved on to the Crusher presentation, which is coming up this Thursday. And that is free for club members, and anyone else can get in at a small cost. And really, this strategy is it's a I think it's a game changer. Um, especially for passive investors, buy and hold type people. I'm planning on using this, already started in the family foundation account, trading account, and in my retirement accounts, kids' retirement accounts, my wife's accounts, etc. Because you know, I've been doing like in the retirement accounts, I've picked stocks, So I have some indexes, but I've also picked stocks because I wanted to do covered calls and naked puts and do all that stuff. But um there's so many accounts now, I don't get around to all of them.
Right? Yeah, sure, sure.
So, it's like me and my wife, we both have Roth IRAs and regular IRAs. Then I have two two SEPs that are decently large, and then a small SEP. So three of those retirement accounts.
It's an
Um,
interfamily hedge fund you got going on without
yeah,
making
yeah.
sense. You really do.
And then the three kids have their own IRAs, Roth IRAs. So it's like, ah, geez, how many? That's a ton of accounts right there. Um, and then there's the HSA account as well. So it's like, yeah, no, I don't know if I could do all of this. And so I needed something. And so this came at a good time because then I could just consolidate. So instead of being in an index, I can be in the crusher, which is still some being in the index, but outperforming the index. So that's going to be,
I think it fits in perfectly
yeah.
for what you're trying to do. Very
Um,
good.
so over the past 25 years, like I wanted to test it. So I tested it all the way back from the dot-com bust, right? So 2000. Right before the stock started dropping, all the way up to end of 2025, 26 years. And, in that time, you have about, on average, less than two trades a year, 45 trades total, where you're um, getting out of the market, getting in the market, and stepping on the gas um, to improve the returns. So yeah, I mean that's not a lot, I mean
No, it's not. No.
1.5, maybe two trades a year. That's not a
Yeah,
big
you just
deal.
got to be, get into the habit, and I'm sure you will, of just checking it. Make sure you know where you are.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, we hired some people to make an indicator for us based on the rules. It's a Thinkorswim indicator, and it's beautiful.
It
I
is.
like it.
It is.
It's one of my
When I looked
favorite
at it,
ones.
I was like, oh, it just makes you happy.
Yeah, it's like
Look
everything is
at,
there on one screen. You could look at it, has different background colors to tell you
yeah.
exactly what you're doing. It's like this is like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I really
Yeah,
love
if
it.
someone walks by your computer, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what are you doing there?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite pretty.
Yep. Instead of having all the lines and all the
Yeah,
everything all over the place, it's just, nice, clean. I mean, you just look at the background and you can tell, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Is it
yep.
green? Is it red? Or is it black? That tells you, or
Good.
gray, like it tells you exactly what you should be doing. It's so simple. I love it. So that's coming up on Thursday. But so today's video, I'm titling it "Why the S&P Has to Go Higher," and part of it is, I've been doing all this research and backtesting and looking at the S&P 500 and how it's performed over the past 26 years. And people's like, "Oh, hey, um, just buy the S&P and it's growing because the economy is growing. It's growing because the US is getting stronger and stronger." That's not exactly the truth. The
Yes, I would agree with that.
S&P is, I mean, it's a rigged game, but it's rigged in a way that's actually, I guess, in a good way, because it's rigged to go higher.
Right. Once you understand that, right, which is kind of hard to, we're not told this, right? We're not
Mm-mm.
told that, just
Yeah.
you're fed the GDP whole idea. You're fed, you think that these companies are making money all across the board, which they are, but there's a lot of different factors, I would say, as to
Yeah.
why it's going up.
hmm And it's like, oh, hey, why is this company stock going up? Oh, because they must be making a lot of money. No, that's not true either. It could be any number of reasons why the stock is going up. Like you take a look at Apple, right? For example, Apple has been doing okay, but the stock continues to do okay. But they have millions and millions of dollars pouring into them, buying their stock every single month from people who have it, you know, who have their accounts and their retirement accounts and their 401ks and everything set up to just automatically reinvest and invest more money every month.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, take it out of my paycheck and put it in my 401k, which most likely is some piece of it is going to go into Apple, you
Right.
know?
And it has a continuous bid,
Yes.
right? It's
So
a
there's,
continuous bid. You know it's going to be there for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So that's kind of what we're talking
Um,
about, where it's like, it's kind of rigged to go higher. So if it's going lower, then something is really wrong.
yeah, yeah. I call it the punch bowl.
hmm
We can't take the punch bowl away, right, from the
Yeah,
people. It's like the S&P. I kind of think about it that way a
yeah.
little bit. So,
But the reason the S&P has to go higher is, like I said, it's been orchestrated to be that way. It's designed that way.
mhm.
Um, and they have what they call survivor bias, right? Where, you know how mutual funds are, I guess they're going out of business, right? But
They
what,
should, in my opinion.
but what they used to do with mutual funds is, like, let's say I'm a mutual fund company, right? I'm going to create 15 or 20 different mutual funds at the same time, and we're going to run them for like a year or two. And then all the ones that are doing bad, we're going to get rid of. And then the two or three that are doing well, those are the ones that we're going to promote because they beat the market, and you got
Yeah,
lucky, right? Some of them win, so you get lucky. The other ones get kicked out. So it's like, oh, how did your company perform? Well, all of our, main funds are doing so well. Well, that's
I know. And then like Joe Schmo goes in there, and then we start looking at him, we're like, oh, this one's doing really well, or this one's like doing decent. It's just,
Mhm.
man, what a,
Yep. And then it turns around and it goes back to the average. And it's like, oh man, I'm not doing. And then once you put the money in, you kind of forget it and it just sits there for a few years until you turn around and look at it. You're like, wait a minute, this is not doing anything.
people
Uh,
really don't check till they notice something really bad has happened, right?
mm-hmm.
At
If
that point, it's too late, really. I mean, it's just kind
Yeah.
of like,
So that's kind of like survivorship balance or bias there, where they only promote the best ones, and so they look really good because all the other ones have been thrown away. They don't use those numbers in their returns. S&P is somewhat similar, right? So you have 500 of the largest companies around the world, mostly US, but they're all like multinationals, a lot of them, right? And if you're a company that's in the S&P, that's great for your stock because, every month people are putting money into the indexes. And so your stock is being bought for that reason. But like I said, if your stock is going down, there's something really wrong. And so not every company in the S&P does well. And so when a company stock starts going down, they lose market share and they lose, how big they are at capitalization. And then the S&P looks at you and it's like, you really need to pick up your stock price because you're pushing the index down.
We're sending you down to the minor leagues. We're sending you
Yeah.
to triple A, not
Yeah.
cutting
And
it.
eventually they kick out that company and they replace it with some other company whose stock is really doing well and the company is growing. So, I mean, if you take a look at, 100 years ago and you look at the companies that are in the S&P, you won't even recognize most of them because there's
It's
so
hard
much.
to believe for people, right?
Mhm.
That can happen.
It's a lot of turnover. So it's kind of like the S&P people, S&P is actually a company, right? They're the ones that pick the 500 stocks that go into this grouping, this index.
Yeah.
And they get paid to license out that information that, oh, these are the 500 stocks. This is the S&P, and they've done a great job marketing their index. There's a lot of other indexes, but somehow S&P got to the forefront and is now the main one.
Bellwether. Yeah.
But they're the ones that manipulate the S&P 500, the market, the stock market, basically. And every so often you'll hear, "Oh, hey, this stock got added to the S&P." Well, if something is added, something has to be delisted, meaning getting kicked out,
Right.
and that's not as advertised.
Yeah.
It-
I wonder how many, it'd be interesting to see that is there a company that can you re-enter? Like you come out of the S&P 500, you re-enter, or do you leave again and you come in? I never really think
um,
about it, right? I just think about
I
them leaving or entering. I never think about them coming back, right? And what they have to do as a company to do that, right?
yeah,
Uh, but I imagine there are a few.
there might be. I haven't. Nothing comes to my mind, and I don't even know if you're allowed.
Like if you get
So
kicked out, you're done.
I don't know. It's like a one and
Yeah,
done. You get one
it's
chance.
interesting to think about. I mean, I would,
Yeah.
yeah.
There are other companies that were like, they were in the S&P, but then they got bought out or they merged with somebody else and then they dropped out and then they came back later on as a different name, things like that. I know that has happened, but um,
Well, we'll know the answer if Enron ever comes back, which I heard rumblings that they did.
really?
Yeah, I mean, that would answer that question.
Yeah. Everybody's forgotten about Enron,
Yeah,
Most people don't remember Enron anymore. Most people don't remember 9/11 anymore. It's like, what? What was
I
that?
know, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So, it's funny. That's why history keeps repeating itself because people forget.
Yeah, it works in cycles. It really does.
We're not around, sir. And those that are around, they're like, "Oh, you're so old. I'm not going to listen to you."
Yeah,
What are you talking about? Planes hitting buildings? That's not real.
yeah. It is funny, but history does repeat for
Yep.
sure.
So it's cool that the S&P has to continue to go higher. And it's manipulated in a way, I guess if you're indexing and you're just buying an index, then it's a good thing. Um,
And
but
that's what
how
most people do, right? But a lot of people they start out with just, um, well, face it, a lot of people are not in the market to begin with, right? Then if they do learn about it, then they go with a advisor. And I don't want to say anything about an advisor, but an advisor will pretty much put you in the index, right? And then you can learn to do it yourself, right? So that's different ways of doing it.
mm-hmm. Yep. And so it's really once you get into this stuff, it's interesting how it all works. Um, the one thing I've realized is that, on people on Wall Street, you talk to the hedge fund managers, you talk to analysts, whatever, they're smart. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're smart. They're smart
Mhm.
people. They went to college and, good universities. They're eloquent, they speak well, they write well, but it's not like they're all geniuses. There's very few of them that are,
Right.
that are like above average
Well,
intelligence.
they're probably, I mean, yes, they're smart, but I think they're trained in a certain way, right? So,
Yes.
yes. And
Yeah,
that's like saying someone, okay, I want to do something, but your hands are tied in a certain way, right? You may know what to do, but that's how they have to do their job.
yeah. It's the training that makes
Hmm.
them seem like they know stuff, because they know things that how they work versus the normal person has no clue.
Right.
Kind of like a bank. Like, how does a bank work? Well, they take money from you, they give you like 0.5% interest, and then they go they multiply that by 10 times
That's the name of the game.
because
Yeah.
they're allowed, for every dollar they get in deposits, they're allowed to lend out 10, and then they go lend out 10 on a credit card at like 25%. So what does the bank have? Really nothing.
No.
There's no money. They lent it out unsecured, and they got to pay you a measly amount. So as long as they're getting something back from that credit card borrower, they're paying you, and they're making the spread. They're making the difference. Um,
The average person still doesn't understand that.
yeah,
They don't.
yeah.
They don't.
I'm surprised that there are still people out there that use ATM machines to take out money, and they pay the ATM fees. To me, that's shocking. Like, how can you pay like $2, $3,
At a clip,
$4?
right? For like you get out like $20, you're paying 350 or $4 on it
Yes.
for convenience.
It's I had years ago I had a gas station, and we had people, it was in the neighborhood, right? So there were apartments nearby, and there are people that don't have checking accounts. Or actually, I guess they do have checking accounts. If they have a debit card, you have to have an account, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they don't have checks, whatever, but they would come in every month at the first to pay the rent. So they would buy a money order. Okay. Now, a money order is kind of like cash. It's kind of like a check. So they would bring in the cash and say, "Okay, I need a money order for, 500 bucks." And say, "Okay, we charge 79 cents per money order, and you give me $500 and 79 cents. I will print the money order and give it to you. And then you go and you sign it, and it's like a check, and you pay the rent." Um,
Still happens.
Yeah, it still happens.
Yeah.
And the money orders, you're allowed as the store, you're allowed to have whatever amount you want on the money order, right? You can have a limit of $1,000, you can have a limit of $500. So I put my limit at 250. So if somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I need a money order for 500," I'm like, "Okay, that's going to have to be two because my limit is 250." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So it's like, 79 cents times two.
Yeah. So you're like,
So I'm just making extra money with doing the same amount of work. I'm just making extra money. Some
why
people,
not?
some people, their rent is like 700, $800. So they're like getting three, four, and it's like, okay, that's fine. It's not a lot of money, but it
It adds
adds up.
up. Yeah, sure.
And then, some people come in, they're like, "Oh, do you have an ATM machine? I need to pay my rent." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. The ATM machine's in the back." Right. And at that time, it was a $2.50 charge that we as the ATM owner would charge them. I don't know what their own bank was charging them, if anything, but we would charge them $2.50. And they need to take out, let's say, $750 for their rent. Well, guess what? The ATM machine also has a $250 limit where you cannot take out more than $250 in
You're
one
going to be hit
transaction.
again. Yeah.
So you have to do three transactions to get out $750. So you're paying 250, 250, 250, 750 there, and then you're paying extra on the money orders. And it was like, I don't understand why they do that. Um, they're getting ripped off. And I
Yeah.
feel ashamed now that I'm telling this story
Well, it's a
that I was
mixture of some of them are, it's some people it's convenience, right? There's a convenience aspect to it. Another part is people don't really may not know, right? What a better option is for them to do.
I think that's part of it.
Possibly.
It's convenient, yes, but still, I mean, these people, they, if they don't have a checking account, that means either your credit's not good or something's wrong, right?
Okay,
You cannot afford to pay an extra $707.50 to use an ATM machine, in my mind.
no.
But
Mm-mm.
in their mind, it's okay because they see the charge. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to charge me 250. Okay, but they just, I guess they don't add it up. It's just
Yeah.
a expense that they have to deal with, and that's what keeps poor people poor. And you know, people like the store owner, like me, that's kind of ripping them off in a sense because
I mean,
I
you're
could,
making a percent off of the money, right? And it's passive in a way, right? There's nothing
yeah.
that you can do.
I mean, the
Um,
store is there to make money. There's
yeah.
no doubt about that, right? We're gonna charge you as much as we can to make as much money as we can, um, and so you have a choice. You don't have to use the ATM machine.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're providing a service, so they have the
Hmm.
possibility or option to use that, whether they want to,
Yep.
if they want to. Yeah.
And then there were on top of that, the same people would come in and say, "Do you cash checks?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Well, I got paid, and I have my paycheck. I need to cash the check. I need you to give me the money for the check." And I'm like, I don't do that, but there are check cashing places out there that charge you 1, 2, 3% of the amount on the check just to give you the cash.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And there are even companies out there that will pay you ahead of time.
And they
Like, I
probably
don't know
charge
how that
interest
works.
on they
Yeah,
probably charge interest on that.
yeah. It's crazy, right?
It's
So,
there's a it's yeah. So how do you keep poor people poor? That's I guess that's the topic of today's show.
well, I mean, it's true. But like there is a certain faction of people, like you said, they don't have good credit, so they're pushed into a box, which keeps making them poorer and poorer, right? And really, credit really is like a debt score if you really want to look at it. I mean, to maintain good
And
credit, you have to have a number of accounts, you have to have a certain levels of credit given to you, right? So it's just this perpetual circle. So you need to break out of that.
yeah. I mean, education and knowledge is so, so important. Like, um, my oldest is 15, right? He has no credit. But when he turns 16, I'm going to add him to one of my longest credit cards that's been open for like, 15 years. And not just as an authorized user, but actually as an account holder. So when he's 18 years old, he will have perfect credit because he has this one credit card that's been open for 20 years with a very high limit, very good usage, all that stuff that he didn't have to earn. Like he didn't have to do anything for. So he'll have perfect credit and you won't have to start. Because a lot of times, 18-year-olds are like, oh, I don't have credit. How do I build my credit?
Mhm.
This
Or
kid's
they
not
have
going to.
bad credit, or well, they have bad, um, how do you say it? You just don't get good credit right off the go, of course,
Yeah,
right?
it takes time to
So,
build it
yeah,
up.
absolutely. So, thanks,
But
Alan. Thanks, Dad.
yeah, so this kid's going to have perfect credit. And
I
so, I
got it.
mean, if
Yeah.
you're a parent out there, that's the easiest way to help your kid out. And, they start off with good credit. Like I remember I was a freshman at Florida State and you go down to the quad and all these tables, I don't think it's legal anymore, but all these tables were sitting there from American Express and all
Oh
the
man, I remember that.
banks
Here, free
and
T-shirt,
yeah,
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 waving it. Come on,
free
come on.
t-shirt, free pizza, free
Yeah.
shaving kit, free, everything. And every week it would be something different. Just fill out a credit app. Just fill out a credit app, you know?
On like every corner of the quad, it was like these
Yeah.
tables that were out there. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And I remember like I went through them. I'm like, yep, here, sign me up, sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. And I got all the free junk, but then I got all these cards and they're like, oh, annual fee, annual fee. And I'm like, oh, snap.
Yeah, there's the catch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, like we were talking about going to the ATM. There was my bank, I was with a certain bank, and the ATM that was in the main part of the campus, um, at the dining hall,
Mhm.
I had to pay like $3. That I had to pay that charge to get my money out of my account because I didn't have anywhere local. So I didn't have like a local ATM. So I would get hit over and over again. And man, I still feel bad to this day because I did fall into that trap, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, you learn, you start to figure things out. Everybody
It,
goes through it.
yeah, it's crazy. And then so what was it? I just had another thought. It went away. But yeah, so if anybody's, if you're a parent out there, get your kids some credit. Have them, start off fresh.
You can also have starter accounts. I think they have you like, oh, they give you like a limit, right, of $250 or something like that, and then
Yeah,
you
they have
build
kids
credit.
accounts.
Yeah, things like that. So,
Michael's saying that he got secured cards when he got started, which
right.
is which is an option. You give them like $500 and they give you like $200 of credit.
Yeah. Start building it up and,
Yep.
make decisions.
The one, yeah. I mean, like to me, doesn't even having a debit card to me doesn't even make sense. Like I don't have debit cards. You know, um, all I have is credit cards. So if I go somewhere and I'm going to buy something, it's going to be on a credit card because
Yeah,
there's
I used to be about, I think that's kind of gone away. I'm on the same line of thinking. Like I'd rather put it on a credit card than just have a debit card comes right
mm,
out.
yeah. If you lose the credit card, it gets stolen, somebody uses it up, okay, I'll call the bank. Hey, I'm not responsible. I didn't do it. Right. You use your debit card, somebody comes and robs you and be like, give me your PIN number. Okay. And they take out all your money
Right. And the
and you can't do anything.
security aspect,
Yep.
especially now.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so debit cards for me, no thanks. We don't have any. Sometimes I guess you have to carry a little bit of cash. But in the last, I don't know, 10 years, I don't think I've ever had a problem.
With,
Um, there was one time we had a problem.
you mean like ha actually having to use cash,
Yeah, where we had it,
cash
where we
only?
needed cash and we couldn't, we
Well,
didn't, we didn't have
I
it.
can say I'm in a small town, right? And they still do that. Like, it's still like, okay, you need cash or you can't do something.
Oh, they don't take credit cards?
No, like, for Halloween example, I want to go to the local area and get some pumpkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, no, sorry, we can only have cash. And you're like, ah,
Mm. Yeah.
it's cash. You don't have
Yeah.
Venmo or anything? It's like,
Yes. I mean, they probably do. I don't know. They just don't want to
still,
because
I mean, right then. And then I think back to even like 5 months ago going to Burger King, right? I went to Burger King, I had some cash, I gave it to the cashier, and they're like, really? You're like, I was like, sorry, like, we still use it. So she came out, she had to break the quarters, the whole roll, and
Oh my
held up the
God.
line. I mean, that's how things have changed, right?
I remember when we were really, really down, we didn't have anybody. We only went to eat at restaurants that would take credit cards because we had nobody. And we were at the point where we were using one at the end of the month, we would use one credit card to pay off the other credit card to make the minimum
Oh
payments.
yeah, yeah.
So we had like no cash at all. We're just like trying to survive day to day, just using Peter to pay Paul with the credit cards. And so we
Done
would
that too,
only
unfortunately.
we would only eat at places that took credit cards. And at that time, a lot of the fast food places did not. But Whataburger was the one place that did. And so we ate a lot of Whataburger. I mean,
It's
it was,
whatever. What
it was,
isn't it Texas based?
yeah, it's a
Whatever.
Texas, yeah, it's a Texas
Yeah,
thing. And I still remember there was this one place we went to. It was called Quiznos. Me and my dad
I
walked
remember
in.
Quiznos. Yeah.
We went for lunch. Me and my dad walked in. We go for lunch, and we're looking at the sandwiches, and we didn't. They didn't take credit cards. So my dad goes to me. He goes, "How much money you got?" I looked at my wallet. I'm like, "I ain't got anything. How much you got?" He goes, "I don't have anything." And so we left.
You
And
went to
that was,
Whataburger.
and that, yeah, we did. But that was so embarrassing I mean, like nobody knew why we left, but to me, it was like really embarrassing. Like I can't afford a sandwich. And so at that day, I made it a thing. I was like, I'm going to come back. I'm not going to eat at Quiznos until I am a millionaire, and I'm going to come back and eat here, and I'm going to buy whatever the hell I want, and I'm going to pay in cash.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And
Cool.
years later, me and my wife, I took my wife to Quiznos, and we ate there, and it was horrible.
And I don't think it's around anymore, is it
Yeah,
not? It's
I think they
gone.
went out of
Yeah.
business.
Right. Yeah.
It was not worth the wait.
But
But
principle, that's why you went, you
yes,
know?
yeah, and I did not eat there. We could have eaten there many times over the year, but like, no, I'm not going to
You're like,
Quiznos
dude, I'm going back
until
to Quiznos, the redemption.
yes, until I am a millionaire. And we went back to that same exact restaurant.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. So it's crazy how the mind works. Well, I mean, I don't know what the Fed said, but market's heading lower. We're at 68.70
Oh
now, so
yeah,
point
dropped quite a
0.4.
bit.
Um, if you guys are still in your double dip trades, then it's probably definitely going to work out. I think you're really safe now. I think you can let it go to expiration. Um, but everything else is still up nicely today, so it's a good day today.
Not bad.
Yep.
Let's see.
Uh,
Yeah, I got out of the Phoenix is a winner too because I got out
nice. Would you get out on the put side?
on the call side.
Go to the call side. Okay.
Yep. But I got knocked out pretty early, probably within the first hour, and then the call side just knocked out.
Okay. So you lost or you made?
Maybe. Yeah.
You made. Okay.
Yeah, I got out at a certain amount because I knew we'd be talking, right? So I got to keep an eye.
Ah, okay. Okay. Cool. So good. I mean, market power is doing great today. Two trades, two
Yeah.
winners today. Very nice. I was hoping we would have got a lottery one today.
Yeah, it was close. It was close. In the beginning, it looked like we could get there, but it kind of fizzled out. So we had to put the part two on.
Okay. All right. But we don't have, most likely, we do not have a signal anymore.
No, definitely not now.
No. Oh, well.
Plenty of action though, right? So it's like,
Plenty of action. And, the double dip gives us trades when market power does not, stay. Maybe the signal doesn't stay, but we still got to trade. So double dip, we're going to have more double dip trades than regular
yeah,
market power classic trades.
there are
Um,
quite a few double dippers in addition to you in the
yes, that we're doing it
side.
already. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so very interesting.
Yep. Uh, and it'd be fun and interesting to see what variations people come up with
Hmm.
based on this. So, um,
That's why I love the community aspect. You get all different viewpoints and advantages
mm-hmm.
how to do the trade, right?
I
So
love
you have
it.
the structure and then it just builds off of that.
Yep, I do love it. Sweet beans. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for today's show. Unless you got something else, Matt.
No, it went fast today. Whew.
Yeah.
Feel like we just
So,
began this talk and all of a sudden,
well, that's why the SPX has to go higher because it's rigged.
yep, the punch bowl will continue to rise.
It's built like that. And if it doesn't, then the whole economy is in the toilet. Everything's going down. So, all right, my friends, we will see you all. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow night on the Crusher presentation. If not, then we will see you Friday back here. Same time, same channel, same what? Same bat time, same bat channel. Is that what it was? I don't remember. I never watched that old Batman show. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know?
No.
There used to be this live Batman show with the original Batman. I forgot his name, but they wore all these colorful get-ups, and then whenever they would fight, they would be like, "Pow,
Oh yeah, I
bam,
remember that. Yeah,
woo!" Yeah, and at the end, like, okay, and Robin at the end of every show would be like, "Tune in for the next show at the same bat time and the same bat channel."
The same bat place.
Yeah, so all the kids would remember, like, okay, this is channel six. I gotta come back to channel six
Yep.
because at that time they only had like three channels.
Oh, 6, 10, and 13 for me. Channel
Really?
6, 10, and
Yep.
13. And I was the remote. I had to go up and change it.
He turned the dial, tuck, 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 tuck.
6, 10, and 13.
Yep. Don't change it too fast or it's gonna break.
Oh man.
Yep.
Wow, we really are getting older.
All right,
Oh,
everybody. We'll see you guys soon. Take care and happy trading.
all right. Bye-bye.